Hey folks, how we doing today? It's me again, Tanner Fox here, Devoted Patriots 2 channel, and I have got a couple of clips I cut up for you today involving Mr. Josh Hawley grilling Majorkas. We've got Ted Cruz grilling Majorkas, and for a finisher, we've got John Kennedy making you smile and finish and grilling Majorkas as well. Now, Majorkas is just like Blinken, so be prepared for not much answers to all the questions that they're throwing at him left and right. Now, a little bit of backstory to this first clip is Josh Hawley is asking him about this app that the government has paid for anybody in any country, I assume, but mostly applying to the South American countries that wants to come to America. They have a for asylum app that you can go on to, download it on your phone. You can go onto this app and you can literally register to come to this country. And that way, when you do show up, oh, well, they've already got your name. Come right on in. And that's what they are trying not to answer the questions about. That's actually what the phones are for, facilitating the uh, the influx of all the people. And Josh Hawley really gets to the point of that. If you want to watch any of these videos in full length, you can find them on Forbes or the full several hour long grilling over on C-SPAN. Now let's go ahead and finish with by jumping into the video.
What you're doing, though, in January of this year, you rolled out a new phone app called CBP One, an app for a cell phone. I've got a picture of it behind me here. This phone app allows, and I'm going to quote from your own fact sheet, it allows, and I quote, non-citizens without appropriate documents for admission to schedule an appointment to come to the border. They can now go on their phone and schedule a time to come to the border and then be admitted. And you identified 7 separate border points of entry where they could come. 5 of them in Texas, 2 of them in California, 1 in Arizona. It's like a concierge service for illegal immigrants. My question is, you didn't think the border crisis was bad enough that now we're going to have an app that allows illegals to schedule their appointments and come and be admitted to this country?
Senator, you're mischaracterizing the use of the application. Let me explain it to you.
So long as they've made an appointment on your Ticketmaster app. This seems crazy to me.
Senator, it's a complete mischaracterization of the program that we announced and are implementing.
All right, I'm gonna stop it right there. We'll have to stop it a few times during the video just so I don't play it all the way through for copyright reasons, I guess, because a couple of these clips are a couple minutes long. But Majorkas will not answer any question. Instead, he wants to give you a big, long, 5-minute, drawn-out speech that doesn't actually answer anything. That way, by the time your question and answering is over, you just move along to the next person. He knows he's on a clock. He's only got so many minutes that he can actually filibuster, him haul around, talk real slow, and do his best to say things that really have nothing to do with answering the yes or no question. In most cases, he just can't give a yes or no, like you'll see Ted Cruz talks about here directly. Let's get back into it.
Good morning, Secretary Majorkas.
Good morning.
Is there a crisis at our southern border?
Senator, there is a very significant...
That's a yes or no question.
There's a very significant...
Is there a crisis?
Senator, there's a very significant challenge.
I think your microphone is not on.
There is a very significant challenge that we are facing.
Yes or no,
at the
is there
border.
A crisis?
I believe I've addressed that question.
So you're refusing to answer?
Senator, there is a very significant challenge, and
will you answer if there's a crisis?
Therefore, we are dedicating the resources.
Okay, so you're refusing to answer. Well, Secretary Majorkas, I'll tell you someone who is willing to answer, which is your and President Biden's chief of the Border Patrol in a sworn deposition in July of 2022 when asked, would you agree, Chief Ortiz, that the southern border is currently in crisis? Answer, yes. Notice none of those wiggle words, none of that equivocation. One word, one syllable, yes. Are you willing to speak with the same clarity as Chief Ortiz? Is there a crisis at our southern border, yes or no?
Senator, I'm very proud to work alongside.
So you refuse to answer. Let me ask you the next question. Has the crisis at our southern border made Americans less safe? Yes or no?
Senator, we are dedicated to the safety
Has
and
the crisis
security
made Americans less
of
safe? I don't want a discourse. It's a yes or no question.
Senator, we have a challenge of
You refuse to
immigration,
answer the question.
not
Mr. Secretary, let me show you how someone doing his job answers a question in a straightforward manner. Chief Ortiz, is the crisis that is currently ongoing at the southern border making the border less safe for Americans and aliens alike? Answer, yes. One word, one syllable, 3 letters. That's how someone answers a question and does their job. You're being a politician misleading the American people. Let me give you a chance again. Will you show the same integrity Chief Ortiz shows? Is the crisis at the southern border making Americans less safe? Yes or no?
Senator, we have 260,000.
You refuse to answer the question. Let's move on.
And
Instructed to stonewall, so I'm not going to let you. You don't get to stonewall and filibuster. Now, one of my Democratic colleagues before said the Democrat talking point, quote, this problem didn't start under Biden. Look, I get if you're a partisan spinner, you got to figure out something to say about the absolute catastrophe that has played out under the Biden administration. True or false, Secretary Majorkas, 2020 was the lowest rate of illegal immigration in 45 years. Is that true or false?
Well, Ted's fixing to tear him up with the receipts. He brought the charts and the receipts. You'll see. This is good.
it is certainly the lowest level of immigration in many, many years. And what was it
Okay, fine.
in 2020? What was it, Senator, in 2020 that impacted the entire world, including the United States?
Okay, so your testimony is the reason we had the lowest rate was COVID. It had nothing to do with building the wall, nothing to do with ending catch and release, nothing to do with Remain in Mexico. With all respect, Mr. Secretary, that answer is laughable. And in fact, if you look at illegal immigration, let's look at CBP encounters. You can see 500,000, it drops to the lowest level, and boom, what happens? You show up. And that red line is you. That red line is Joe Biden. And you're claiming nothing happened. Oh, gosh, this was here before us. No, you made the decision to allow this to happen. Let me ask you.
Long, drawn out 4 minutes of talking with no words coming out of his mouth. Nothing important enough to even get any kind of deciphering out of. Just ridiculous. Now, listen to John Kennedy, what he's got to say about him. This is a little comical as well. It's sad what's going on with our border situation, but we've got to expose this guy, not just to the Republicans, but to the entire world. Eventually, everybody's going to realize our border being open is a crisis, and we have to fix it no matter who the president is no matter who's running these 3-letter agencies. And that's why people like this guy here, days are numbered, and I have to believe that. Let's go ahead and get back into it. Senator John Kennedy, one of my favorites.
With you, because you won't give them straight answers.
I think I just did.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Do you have a definition of an assault weapon?
I am confident there is a technical definition of what is an assault weapon, and it was.
And I really do wish, I understand the position you're in, but you really should try to do a better job of answering the questions. Under the Biden administration, we have the most encounters. We have had the most encounters with people attempting to come into our country illegally in the history of ever. Under the Biden administration, we have had the most people entering our country illegally in the history of ever. Under the Biden administration, we have had the most gotaways at our southern border in the history of ever.
That we are focused on enforcing precisely the result that you seek.
Did you just parachute in from another planet, Mr. Secretary? Because you're the only person in the Milky Way who believes that we're not having massive illegal immigration into America.
Senator, you're putting words into my mouth.
No, sir, I'm accurately describing the situation.
There is no.
Y'all see that expression on John Kennedy's face? He's enjoying this right now. He's getting to tear him up a little bit.
Question. There is no question that we have a very serious challenge at our southern border.
Okay.
It is a challenge.
We can agree on that. Let me.
Tell me what you think, folks. That's just what I cut up out of a couple hours of watching that stuff over on another channel. Like I said, C-SPAN or Forbes has a lot of this stuff as well. Doesn't hurt to go check it out. There was a lot more said than what I brought to you. Josh Hawley really dug into him, and so did Ted Cruz. But you get the point. They're just trying to expose all this stuff, and a lot of people think this is absolutely useless. But in reality, the more of the stuff that gets exposed and brought together like a case, like files on people like Majorkas and Blinken and a few of these other clowns that just need to go, the easier it'll be to get rid of them when we do actually get the opportunity to take back our judicial system in 2024. When 2024 happens, I think all the stuff here that seems almost useless, other than just need to know information, will one day be the case files on a lot of this criminality that is going down, and this is just the precursor to the investigation that's going to turn into prosecution. That's what I have to believe, folks. It's just my take on it. That's one of the reasons I do watch these things, because it's always a little more exposure, and I like to see it. I just wish Majorkas could tell the truth. Like, subscribe, and share to Vote a Patriot. Hope everybody has a great day. Over and out.